Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome back. It is Monday morning, and as you can see, I am still dying. Yep. No, not yesterday, the other day. We found a guy who sells $20 a truckload for wood chips. So they went, got it for me. Now they're gonna dump it into the garden so I can spread it around in my life. No, he's fine. So I can spread it. Come on, Micah. Look at my gardener. Say hello. Say hello. Come on. Come. Come on, Micah. Say hi to our fellow friends. What happened? You're tired? Micah's tired. So am I. But they're gonna unload the wood chips and I'm gonna spread them. So that's gonna be great. Today's not gonna rain, so hopefully I can go out there. I am feeling a little bit better, but not 100%. Now I'm coughing up a lung or two. Come on, Poppy, over here. Micah's my water boy, look. Are you watering the plants, Micah? Huh? Are you watering the plants? Alright guys, it's my lunch break. So I've been harvesting peppers. My plants did get a second wind of peppers, and what I realized on the first wind is that first of all, did you meet my little friend? I took a picture of it before this video. I found that in my garden, and it is venomous. Welcome to my Spanglish, but not for me. It's a garden spider, I guess, but I still staying my distance. But I am picking them up as soon as I see them very bright and green, because what I realized is on the first harvest that I did in the beginning of the year is that I was letting them try to get bigger, but they don't get bigger. They start turning red and they start rotting. So what I did was I grabbed everything that was bright green. The only ones that did grow big, and I think it was the brand maybe of peppers, was the ones that were here. And these were the starts that I purchased in a different, I think these starts were different from the starts that I have on the bags. They were from a different farm. So that's being said, I think these were giant whatever green peppers. I don't think that the ones in the bag are supposed to be giant green peppers. I think it's a different brand that they don't grow humongous. I think the biggest they've gotten is about like this, and as soon as they turn, dark green, I've been picking them. Now these are the giant peppers that were in that other plant, and then these is the normal size and the ones in a bag. So I think maybe it was a variety. I was trying to see if any of the bag had the name of the pepper, but I don't think so. And here's my friend, so I'm trying to not get anywhere near it. But none of the bags had the actual name of the pepper, so I can't figure it out. I know the name of this one is giant green peppers, because I have it in the beginning of the 5 plants or the 4 plants, but these don't. So I did have the tag. I don't know what happened. And then the other ones are banana peppers, obviously. So not too sure. I'm gonna have to pay attention next time when I buy my, well, I don't know if I'll buy plant starts again, but let me continue. This is what I got so far of peppers. I also have planted different kind of beans here, and it seems like they did not do too well with the heat, and then now they're actually starting to sprout, which is kind of weird. You see, like I have them, these were the pole beans, green beans, which is something that I did want, and for some reason now with the cool weather, it's like it is doing really good. And I'm alright with that, because I can still harvest as many green beans as I can, because I just literally put new seeds, and I also put new seeds for cucumber. So I find it kind of weird that one of the, well, not weird, but now I'm going through the transition that one plant is dying, and I'm hoping that I get another plant to pop up with the rain that just happened. Our weather is dropping to 40s at nighttime, so I think I'm gonna have to move the lemon trees sometime this week, maybe this weekend, with Lexi and Jesse, and move them to the greenhouse, because clearly speaking, I don't want them to die out. I mean, obviously, I want my lemon trees. And I also need to bring the pineapples. I mean, the pineapple's been doing really good, so I definitely do not want to chance that. The hot peppers, I did grabbed everything that I possibly could have for the hot peppers. As you saw, I did a great chain to dry out. These, I'm just letting them die out. Something's been eating them. I think it's a bunny rat. I'm not sure what it is, really. And some of them rotted. Well, most of them rotted. I did try to put a glue trap, but it didn't work. So whatever it is, it's somewhere back here, which it did not disturb any of my, having a brain fart because I still don't feel well. Tomatoes. It did not disturb any of my tomato plants, but it did disturb the 4 hot pepper plants. It ate all the stuff that was like sort of in the bottom of the plant. And I have now enough hot sauce that can last me a lifetime. And I don't eat hot sauce. It's more Jesse and Lexton who eat the hot sauce. So that's fine. No more hot peppers for me. But check out the compost of the shredded. It's almost gone. I can't believe it. I did not use that many wood chips, which is kind of creepy. And then I think I told you guys sometime last week that I am going to do another trellis here with a permanent bed. But let's see what I got over here. Nothing. This is my gandula tree. These were all my potted plants that I actually had in pots, and nothing happened with them. And I just tossed them all right here, and they grew, which is kind of weird. I find it funny that after I tossed them in the ground, they ended up growing. And then I don't know what that is. I see it from here. I'm not trying to get anywhere near it, but because they look like bugs, I just don't know what they are. You see them? What are those? They're on top of the tomato. So I'm not going to go anywhere near that. Clearly the tomato is not red. I came to see if I had any good tomatoes out here, but I don't. The gandula tree is actually really big, but it has no pods on it, so that's funny. This is the basil, I think. And it actually seeded, which is fine. I am actually not tilling with a machine, but using the hand tiller to till all of this for next year. And I am going to put a fall crop in the end of October. But actually, I'm not waiting for nothing here. The plants are starting to pick up now for I think these were supposed to be like sugar snap peas and cantaloupes, and none of them did very well over here. So I think they got overtaken by the cover crop. So I'm not waiting for nothing over here. There's nothing there except the sweet potato. So that's really what I'm waiting for before I come here and tear this up with the hand tiller, the pitchfork. That's how I till. We did have that machine, but I'm not putting it through here because we still have I'm sorry, I didn't finish talking. We still have wood underneath the soil, and I don't want to break the machine. It was given to me. So I don't know. I'm still debating on whether or not I really want to do that. So I just see another cucumber. I should go get it. But let me continue. I just remembered the other thing I want to do, but I don't know if I can do, is I did want to throw like a few chickens in here. And maybe I'll do that because we do have an electric fencing, and if I put them between the electric fencing, I think they'll be okay. You see, I still have some sugar babies growing. But I'm really just waiting for the sweet potato. I wanted to have a couple of the chickens over here so they can scratch and eat all these bugs and insect. I have a lot of crickets in here. So maybe if I can with Jesse, maybe I'll put the electric fencing like between here, somewhere like before this, like right here, because then I do have melons and stuff in the beds, but after like right here going that way, we really don't have anything but the sweet potato. So maybe I can do the electric fencing going around for as far as I can and let them do their thing. In here they could be loose, but I don't want them because I have the beds. So I would say the only thing is how we're gonna catch them, but I think I can. And then we just have to get them like a little house or something for them to sleep in at nighttime, because clearly there's no cover here at all. They'll be like wide open, and I don't want no hawks or anything to get them. So maybe that'll be a plan. I'll ask Jesse when he comes back to see if we can do that. That'll be fun. Okay, let me continue. Check out all the bees on the wheat. Wow. If you were ever wondering what's a good pollinator, clearly the wheat, people. That's what that is. It was the red wheat, I think. On both beds. I know you see that. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, my break is now over, but I picked up all the peppers, which is what's important, and then I will be back later this afternoon to pick up tomatoes, because I'm sure Lexton and JJ did not do a good job in picking tomatoes. Sorry, because I see a load of tomatoes everywhere. I see red tomatoes everywhere. So I will come back later to pick the tomatoes. I gotta fix that bed, but they took the shovels. Oh, I'm tired. I should go rest. Alright, I'm gonna go rest. Let me stop procrastinating. But, you know, what's more therapeutic than a garden, right? So, I am going to literally go rest, and then I'll come back later on to grab the tomatoes. But check out the pile of wood chips. I thought it was more than that. I think Lexton got cheated. They went for another truckload today. Jesse told me that Lexton didn't want to fill up the truck, but he said he's going to fill it up today. So hopefully, Jesse gives me a nice truckload of wood chips. And then those wood chips actually is going to be for these beds here. I'm going to try to spread them as much as I can. And my loofahs, you see it? Is like leaning because it's so full of loofahs. It's insane. Like at one point I only had 6, and now there's so many. The plant is like overload. So I don't need to make loofahs next year, I don't think. And I've been cutting the plant. Like whenever I see a corner or a tip, I've been snipping it so it can stop growing, because it was everywhere. I did kill the yellow jackets. I don't know if we killed them, but they're not there anymore. So I am going to put wood chips all around these beds. I am collecting boxes, so I can put the boxes first and then put the chips. And I am going to do the same thing going around the fencing. Because then the flowers, I don't want to put them in the bed anymore. I want to put them around the garden, because they've been taking over my bed. Alright guys, I will see you guys later. Alright guys, it's after 5 o'clock. It's about 5:30. I just finished making dinner. So I'm out here to get the whatever ripened tomato. Still feel crappy, people, by the way. And mosquitoes are out, so I need to hurry up. But I wanted to show you that we did put some of the mulch around the beds. See, it looks a little bit better, less green. We still need a little bit more mulch. And we put the fencing around the area here. You can't tell because of the sun. Sorry. We did put the fencing up. Tomorrow we're going to put chickens over there. How exciting! So let me get my tomatoes and show you what I got. Alright guys, this is what I've got for harvesting. Mainly tomatoes. I try to get them as much as I can, because if not, then the bugs get to them. Let me show you this one. No, not that one. One of these got a slug bite on them. So if I don't get to them, the slugs will. So I try to get them as soon as they're tended, and then I just let them ripe inside. I don't have a problem with that. But tomorrow's another day. Thank God. Thank you for being with me on this Monday, and I will see you guys on the vlog tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm sure it will be another day probably of tomatoes. Actually, no, tomorrow we're putting the chickens on the other side of the garden. That's going to be very exciting. Lexon and Jesse are going to grab them before we let them out of their coop, which it makes it easier. And then tomorrow we have to actually get the rabbit hunt and see if we can use that for them to sleep in at nighttime, because I do not want anything happening to them during the time period that they're going to be in the other side of the garden. So we'll see how it goes. Tomorrow will be another exciting day in the homestead. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Crack of dawning. Bye guys. So here is the chickens. They all look so different and big. So we shall see. Hey guys, welcome back. Feeling a little bit better today, but not 100%. Don't be, scared if I start coughing to death. As soon as I start talking, I start to cough. I try to put a little makeup on, just so I can look a little better and not dying on you guys. But it's the afternoon, and I've been mulching. Let me show you what I did. So I mulched all around all the little round beds. I mulched all my berries, going all the way around, and then I came around here and mulched some of these beds with the wood chips, and I still have some of my mulch, so I've been doing that as well. So I also found newspaper. We also moved all the peppers to here, because I'm about to trim all of that grass with the lawnmower. So we'll see. I will be literally back in a few. I am about 70% better. Oh, and we finished putting the fencing. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna grab a few chickens and toss them in here, and hoping for the best. So wish us luck. That'll be tomorrow. Alright guys, here's the harvest of the other day of the peppers. Today I grabbed some green beans. I did have some tomatoes. Today was not a tomato harvest. I try to harvest my tomatoes like every other day. As you can see, I do have some that have some damage, but I tend to chop them up, discard whatever is not good, and then keep whatever is good and put it in the freezer. So that being said, not a lot of tomatoes today, but that's okay. The reason I wanted to come up here was to tell you that I believe I am going to sacrifice probably about 4 cups of tomatoes. Or is it 2 cups of tomatoes? I'm going to make a Rotel canning recipe. Let me show you the can that I got. So here's one of the cans that I canned back in 2024. So I do want to do the same recipe again, because I think I only have, after I use this one, I'm only have 3 left. So it gives me 3 pints, 6 pints, the recipe that I have. So if I remember, I'll put the recipe below of what I can. I'm not sure if it's a approved canning, but I do it all the time, so it's one less thing that I have to worry about. Alright guys, tomorrow's another day. Me tired. I'm gonna make my dinner. And I'll see you guys tomorrow if I'm feeling any better. You tell me, do I sound better? Alright guys, I'm back inside. Forgot to show you the after I cut the grass. Yes. Don't it look pretty? So right there where the grass line is, we are gonna mulch. I'm gonna get rid of all that grass, which is crabgrass, by the way. But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. We decided to strain our mullein tincture. We took it yesterday. Seems to be working. Supposed to be for what? Pulmonary
lung detoxification.
There you go.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm very, very good.
I can smell it all the way over here. I hope the jar is big enough
Me too.
for everything we're getting. Because that was a big jar. Actually, it still smells like Jamaican rum, though.
It does. That thing's strong. We picked the plant off the side of the road, by the way.
When was it? Like 30? No, it had to be like 5 weeks ago or something. It's been like a month. That's true. And we know it working because the liquid is dark.
Yeah,
The Jamaican rum was clear. It really did suck up all that stuff. Oh, do we need something to get it out? She got one already. Can you imagine if we squeeze out more than that jar?
It's heavy.
It's already halfway full. I saw that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's another day here. I had to go pick up Nico. I hope you enjoyed my beautiful view that I love to see when I pick up Nook Nook from school. And that was the clip before this one. But yesterday, as you guys saw, we did drained our mullein, and it's been soaking for 30 days in Jamaican rum. And I've been taking it for my bronchitis. So I went to the doctor's, to the clinic, I think it was Saturday, and I did get checked and tested. And the only reason why I went is because I got Nook Nook. Say hi to Nook Nook. Nookie Nookie, say hi. We got Nook Nook and Chunka Dunka, and I wanted to make sure, rather be safe than sorry, right? So I did get tested. I had rhinovirus, which is, according to Google, just a common cold that literally turned into something else, obviously. So for me, because I'm diabetic, it always turns into bronchitis or pneumonia, which is what I have. So we remembered that we dug for some mullein like 30 days ago, and we ended up leaving it for 30 days in the Jamaican rum. And because we had it in the Jamaican rum for 30 days, it was perfect for me to start taking it. So I started taking it like 2 days ago, and it has been working, believe it or not. They did prescribe a bunch of different medications, but I was not about to go and get that medication. So I've been doing it with just the mullein and literally rest, lots of fluid, and that's about it, right? So I just pulled over to the side because guess what? I found out I can do mullein tea. So I'm gonna go for a hunt, look for some mullein since we're coming up the mountain, right, Nookie Nookie? And we're gonna go find ourselves some mullein so we can freeze dry it and use it for tea instead of doing the tincture. Let me show you where I'm at. We just stopped in the middle of nowhere. No, sir. In the middle of heading home, actually. And Now we're gonna go hunt for some mullein. So we'll be back as soon as I find the mullein. I want to show you that when we're off the main road, right, because this is a main highway, they do spray. So I don't want to grab anything that's anywhere near where they spray at. And then when we get to the mountainside, they don't spray. So we're able to grab whatever's available. Like you see all this stuff that's turning brown on my right side, they sprayed like a couple of months ago. All of this was brown. I don't know what they spray with because the stuff still comes back up. It's kind of weird. So usually around here, if I know they sprayed, and obviously we do drive around here all the time, I don't collect the mulleins from here because they've been sprayed. So once we head to my mountain, which is an off-road, they don't spray. So that's the one we're going to look for. And I saw two, so we're good. Here is my mountain, our side road to go up to the house. And as you can see, we don't spray. Everything just overgrows. And then we have the town that comes in, and they are supposed to be cutting it once it hits a certain length when people can't see. But they're not allowed to actually spray. We are next to a preservation camp or mountain side. So they're not allowed to spray. Quick, here it is. And I have to pull it and put it in my trunk. Because cars can come in any direction and I don't want to be hit. Here it is. Hopefully we have no bugs, right, Nookie Nookie? I tried to shake it as much as I could, but you know. Now we have one more. Of course, I don't have my seatbelt on. There's a lot down the hill. You can tell down there. But clearly we're not going to try to kill ourselves to try to grab some mullein. But there is another one somewhere around here. And then we're next to the mountain something wildlife preservation blah 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 something. So technically speaking, that is why they cannot spray. And then here's the other one right here. I know you see it. Here it is. Always pay attention to your surroundings because you never know. This one has flowers too, which is good. So let me pull it out and put it in my trunk. All right, guys, we're not far from the house, so I will see you guys later. I'm going to chop that up, put it in the freeze dryer. Usually I don't like running the freeze dryer unless I have more items. So I'm going to see what else I can put in the freeze dryer with it. Most likely some of the herbs, like the basil and stuff. So that's the only thing that's going crazy right now. So I'll see you guys when I get home. And Nookie Nookie, tell them we're next to the cow farm. So we get to see the beautiful cows every single time. And it's so relaxing and beautiful to actually see them. I pay attention to the road. Ah, there they go. They're right there. Oh, wait, wrong way. Mr. Muscatoos. Oh, toodles. Oh, toodles. Every day we get to see the cows. So relaxing. Oh, toodles. Alright guys, we're back home. So we're cutting up the mullein. And I'm picking up all the leaves that look dark green is what I'm trying to do. No matter the size. And then I'm not taking anything that's brown or yellow, obviously. We want the healthy green. Sorry about the noise in the background, because if not, I'll never get this done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some basil leaves, the biggest basil leaves I have. Peppermint. I have peppermint on the other side that I'm going to do. So let me get started and I'll come back to show you the end result. Alright guys, I'm in my barn. I'm on my lunch break. And right now, I am going to start actually dehydrating this stuff because I did not collect enough to do in the freeze dryer. And I'm okay with that because the freeze dryer really does take a lot of power. So I put a lot of, here's the mullein leaves. And then I'm just going to keep stacking it up with, I got peppermint, basil, the mullein leaf, and some lavender. So I'm going to try to squeeze everything into here. And then we're going to put it, set it, and forget it. Be right back. Guys, I put it for 24 hours and it's at the 100 degrees because I want it to be slow and steady. And everything is in there in separate trays. And the reason I'm doing it in separate trays is because I'm going to put it in a separate jar so I can mix however I want it, not have it all together. So, see you when I come back. Bye. Hey guys, I'm here from on top of the world. Ha. I forgot to come back after I took my break. Now I'm off. But I decided to come fix the fencing for the, for the chickens tomorrow because I needed to fix it a little bit better, you know, of particular people. And then I decided to do more wood chips and check it out. It's a pile, people, a pile. $20 a truckload. This is dope. Sorry about the noise in the background. I'll show you in a minute, but here's the garden. I've been throwing it as I go because no matter what, all of this is going to be wood chipped. Chippity chip. Check out Lexi's side for those who are interested and nosy. Yes, he's almost done. It looks great. And we expanded the driveway, people. Alright, enough for Lexi. You're here for my wood chips. So I've just been throwing the wood chips to unload the truck. But, whew, this is a lot of work. Next year will be way better. Alright, let me continue. I'll bring you an end result when I'm harvesting my tomatoes. Ha! Alright guys, we're taking a break. Whew, that's a lot of chips. Check out the birdies. We had 2 more baby chicks that hatched, but I think they died. I don't think they're alive. And I'm here with Micah. Say hi, Micah. Whee! Look at you. Are you the next Michael Jordan? Kobe? What are you gonna be? Huh, Micah? Can't get over how beautiful these red flowers are. I don't think the camera does it any justice on how bright red they are. I'm picking my tomatoes, people. Picking my tomatoes. What? No! It's cracked. No! Must have been the rain. It's horrible. I wanted to show you that out of all these tomato plants, this one looks like a little pumpkin. It's the shape of a pumpkin. And those are the only 2 tomatoes that are on it. And I'm so excited. Because I don't think I've ever seen that before. Check it out, guys. Tomatoes not trimmed. I mean, I took out all the suckers out of all these tomatoes that are on this line right here. And they are more sick and yellow, and they're done giving me tomatoes compared to the ones that I did not took out the suckers. So that bed right there is full of tomatoes. I did not remove the suckers, and I have gotten way more tomatoes. I think I harvest stuff every day compared to the ones that I took out the suckers. I'm telling you, they lied. They lied. Here is today's harvest with all the tomatoes. I did get some more green and banana peppers. And I also harvested the hot chili peppers. And what I'm going to do is I might use just 1 or 2 for my rotel. And then the rest, I'm just going to probably ferment them for Lexington to eat with some banana pepper. Like I'll mix it together. And then I harvested the split pumpkin, whatever squash this is. And I gotta Google to see how to preserve it. And most likely canning it for when I do beans. And these were yesterday's eggs. Check that out. Nice. Alright guys, I pre-made the peppers, onions, and the hot pepper that I picked from the garden to make my rotel sometime this weekend. I've been collecting as many baby tomatoes I can to make it with that, but we shall see, because I need about 8 cups. So far it's supposed to be 8 cups of tomatoes. I need 1 to 2 peppers, 1 whole onion, and 1 jalapeno, but I didn't have a jalapeno, and that's why we put a chili in there. So the rest I will tell you when I'm done with the recipe. All right, guys, good morning. It's another day at the homestead, and check it out. The chickens are doing their thing. The rabbit hook came actually perfect. They are doing their thing. We have actually 5 here, 1 rooster, and clearly 4 hens. The 2 sides of the hut actually opens up. I'm about to open up the other side. But they're doing great. Eat up all them bugs. Alright, I'll be back. I gotta put a double fencing because clearly when we tried putting them in, they did run away, but I'm pretty sure they were shaken. So, technically speaking, we're putting another layer of protection. Oh, sorry. I wasn't even pointing. For another fencing. I'm not making it hot because they don't connect. And when they don't connect, they don't get hot. So, I'm hoping that they don't escape. If not, I'll get Sal. He'll round them up. That's what he's here for. Alright guys, so I'm all set. I threw some scratch so they can know that they're supposed to scratch and eat. I put some of the woods away from where the things are at. So you can see they're doing their job. I hear a hawk. I think I'm gonna have to go get my gun. But they're doing very well. Look at them. I think the only one that's gonna die is that one right there. That one. That one is definitely gonna die. Because it's the 3rd time that it escaped from the fencing. And clearly, I let go of Sal. He's right behind the compost. There he is. And he rounds them up. And we sort of cornered her where she came back in. So, I am hoping that they don't die, because that's my favorite rooster right there. That will make me very upset. But I do see... Oh, there it is. You guys can't see it, but I can. So I'm hoping it doesn't attack them. Let's see, does it turn back this way? It's very high up in the sky. So I'm gonna have to keep my eye out to see what's up. Alright guys, totally forgot to start recording and telling you, hey, I'm on my lunch break. But I put newspaper all the way around the beds. Well, on the side of the bed. Let me see if I can show you. These are the 4 last beds of the garden. There's the chickens doing their thing. And I am going to put wood chips on all of this over here. Going all the way from here, probably to here. and up to the fencing because I don't want grass growing anywhere between the beds. Because even though I could do the lawnmower, I still got to trim, and that's a lot of work. So I decided, let me just mulch it up. So that's what I'm doing. I've been putting piles of mulch around the beds. The one that had real horrible grass, I did put, as you can see, boxes over there. And then I ran out of boxes, so I started using newspaper, which is just right here. The chickens, just that one, been escaping every now and then, so I have to come out here with Sal and do the thing. But I think she's learning, because I think she stopped coming out already. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let me continue putting the wood chips. And this afternoon, when I'm cleaning up and picking up my tomatoes, I will show you what I did or the final result for today. But yeah, there we are, people. It's coming along. I think the more it comes along, the more happier it makes me. Like once I have a routine set. Like it's so weird because in Connecticut, I had the routine set for the containers. So it was like perfect. I knew what to do, where to put them, how to put them, and all of that. And now it's like learning things all over again, like fresh. So I am going to put a bed there. I started sort of like the format of the bed, but it's not permanent yet. We have to make it permanent. That's why they're still in containers. And then I'm going to save all the containers for the potatoes and the peppers because I like doing the potatoes in containers. They come out much cleaner than on the ground. That was half of a horrible experience on the ground versus in a container. I feel like since I've been growing them in container, it was so much easier in the container than on the ground. So that being said, going forward, all my potatoes are going to be in containers. So I'm saving all of the containers I can to do all the potatoes I can. So you see how the tomatoes are all in containers right there. I am gonna obviously use the same dirt, make a little bed there. So as you can see, I put the wood sort of forming it so Jesse can understand what is it that I'm trying to do. And then I am gonna change the T-posts that are there. So right now I have the green T-post and I'm gonna do the big red T-post because it's actually longer, so we can actually put it a little bit higher than what I already had. And if I need to add anything, I could, because the T-post will be longer. So we'll see. That'll be for next year. It's exciting that I've been through a whole season right now of gardening here. And I know my pros and my cons, besides all the bugs, like, but I love it. I love it. Like, I know I'm not going to put any of the flowers clearly the way I did because some of them took over the bed and like covered half of the piece of the bed. So like this gold one right here, it covered the whole entire bed. And the stuff that was growing there clearly cannot grow. So the thought of flowers is going to be that I'm either going to do one whole section of one of these, like right in the middle or towards the end, maybe. So like where all the tomatoes are, like maybe this side of this bed, I'll do a bunch of different flowers. And then I'll skip all of these. Then I'll do maybe this one side full of flowers. And my other thinking would be on the outskirts of the fencing is to mulch it up, kill the grass. And then when it's time to put the flowers in, I can put, real soil and put flowers or do them in pots because we do have a lot of pots that we can grow them in. So that's Lexton's thinking. That's what he wants to do. But I don't know, because I like the looks of the flowers within the garden. So, yeah. It's a debating. I mean, it is my garden, honey. I'm just saying. Maybe I'll take little pots and scatter them everywhere. I don't know. We'll see. We still got time. That's for next year. So, all right, let me stop procrastinating. Because eventually I gotta go back in. We'll be back later. Alright guys, I also forgot to mention, before I go back to work, because my time's up, that, you hear me? I sound so much better, don't I? And it's because of the mullein. So for 3 days before going to sleep, I took a shot of mullein tincture that me and Lexi did. And it worked so well that I went back and grabbed some, as you saw in one of my clips with Nico. And that one is dehydrating, so I can make mullein tea, because you can make it into a tea instead of a tincture. And I also want to make some oil, which is for ear infection, because Nico always gets ear infection. Now, the mullein oil, I think you can only use the flowers, so depending on how much flowers I have left, once it dehydrates. If I don't have a lot, then I'll have to wait, but I'm gonna keep storing them in a little small container just so I can do the oil for Nico. But I wanted to show you, I have a mullein in one of my beds. Hold on. So here it is. It's between the sweet potato. There's a mullein in here, people. Here it is. There's a mullein growing in my bed. So apparently it grows wild here in Tennessee. So I did have another one somewhere not in the bed, but in one of the containers, and Lexton threw it in the compost. So I don't know if that one will relive, but this is a brand new mullein. And according to my research, because don't forget, I always tell you guys, do your own research just like I did. I'm only sharing my story. Have you heard me cough today? No. So, I could have used some of these leaves, but I don't want to because I want to let it grow. I'm thinking about moving it, but I got to do my research on whether or not I can actually move it. So, that being said, I have to do that today sometime. And as you can see, never, ever, ever would I ever put sweet potatoes in the bed. Ever. Because it took over the bed. It took over everything. Like, this one is stuck in there with some of my onions, the tomatoes. Yeah. So this is going to be fun when we're harvesting the sweet potatoes, actually. But also, I did it so the sweet potato can loosen the stuff we put in there. Because don't forget, I did put some of the shredded trees first on these beds, and root vegetables do help it sort of compost faster. So that's why I did the sweet potato, but I would never do it again. I'll tell you that much. Look at this. I will never do it again because it's just taking over. So I'm gonna check to see if I can remove it before it dies on me. Ooh, that was a bug. I hear them all over. I'm okay, Essie. I'm okay. And once I am able to, then I will let you guys know. Also, the yellow jackets are back after we thought we killed them. Check it out. They're still going in and out. They must have found a spot to get into, or they trying to come back. I don't know. I can't really tell. I did tell Lexton, so we'll have to figure it out somehow on what we're gonna do. Sorry, you were looking at the ground. So we'll see. But, alright guys, I'm gonna do my research inside. I'm going back inside. Just want to let you know the mullein did work for me. So if you guys have bronchitis, asthma, any cold related issues, find yourself some mullein tincture, mullein tea. They sell it on Amazon, not sponsored by the way, but they do sell it on Amazon. I sent my sister the link. Hey Carmen, because she suffers from bronchitis and stuff, so she can start taking it. But all right guys, I'm gonna stop procrastinating because I gotta go back to work. All right, bye guys. All right, guys, we're doing the rotel. So here is 8 cups of tomatoes that I'm gonna put in my Ninja to try to blend it out a little bit. And I also have the 1 onion, the 1 pepper, and the 1 hot pepper that I sort of did yesterday. So I'm gonna post this first before I throw that in to post it a little bit. And then you also need, where is it? So you need a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 3/4 teaspoons of oregano, and obviously salt. And then I'll taste it to see if I want to put anything else. So I put all the onions and the peppers in there because no one in this household likes to chomp on onion and peppers. Because this is a rebel canning recipe. Alright guys, I cooked it for 40 minutes. Let it evaporate a little bit. Then I put the 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice in each jar because don't forget it needs acidity. Welcome to my Spanglish. I left it almost a 1 inch headspace. And I got 8 half-pint jars. So that 8 cups of tomatoes gave me the 8 pint. Alright guys, it is Saturday. And I am walking the garden looking for eggs. The chickens escaped the little area that we got for them. And apparently they came and scattered everywhere. Between each bed, they did do their thing and scraped up, which is what they're supposed to do. And then they did get into the 3rd bed that had like the cabbage seed. But the rabbit hut is a little too tight for them. So my only thinking is I'm going to have Jesse roll up maybe this white fencing because there's no point. They're not staying in the one area. And I'm all right with them roaming around. And then the only thing is they do scratch up clearly the compost. And that's all right because we can just put them back. And then I did make them a temporary home with the tarp, but it didn't work out. So I'm going to try to actually... we're going to take out the one fence. I'm not going to keep both. There's no point. They run right through both of them. It's like ridiculous. And then actually the green one I'm gonna throw away. So I'm gonna do clearly the mulching. Then later on this afternoon when the sun goes down, I will most likely just come and pick as many tomatoes as I can. All right. Oh, I hope you can hear me. Jesse is cutting trees in the background. But I wanted to... Not the chicken on my bed, bro. Not the chicken. Hey, get out. Out. I need to cut those things to get the chickens out of the bed. But I decided to just let them roam and do their thing. Because no matter what, we do have fencing all around the garden. They have been jumping on that bed. So I am going to have to put something on there. And I do have chicken wire. So I'm going to do that next. But we did a temporary coop. Because we did buy them a coop. So this is just temporary for now. Because they're constantly looking for shade. And right now I already got 2 eggs in there. So I need to put more hay for them to lay. And then everybody else has been chilling under the loofah. But they're all still here doing their thing. I did put a couple of wood chips and I stopped because it's so hot. And then the only other thing technically was this to do their temporary coop. And now I have to make the cover for the beds. So we'll see. All right, guys. Whew, I'm so tired. This is the bed that the chickens come coming in. So I still have carrots growing in. I do see some of the cabbages growing out. This is the broccoli, but it's been really hot. And then here the chicken messed up, so whatever cabbage was supposed to be there is not coming out. But if I have baby cabbages that grow out enough, I can just retransplant them, so that's fine. The same over here. I got a potato growing out of nothing. And then I had a cabbage over there in the corner. And I did have one over here, but I don't see it anymore. So I think with whatever grows is what we're going to go with. Right now I have 3, 4, I think 5 of the broccoli, which is fine. I'm alright with it. We don't eat a lot of broccoli, so. Look at the chicken. You know, that is just amazing. So what happened is that I thought I could have the electric fencing wired, like hot, so they don't come through. But somewhere around there, nope, where the hot peppers are, right here, Sal bit into it. So according to the instructions, if you have a spot that doesn't have any electrical current going out, it's not going to get electrified. So technically we're just using it so we can trap them basically into this direction, but it doesn't work because it's not hot. So I'm going to leave it up for now, but eventually I'll take it down. It's all right. All of the chickens are everywhere. I think they're behind there. I hear scratching. And then I still got more wood chips to go. So I wanted to cover this, so I took a break from that. Took a break. I'm done with that. So now I did put wood chips down, so I stopped, did that. Then took a break. Then did this, cut up the pieces for this. And then now I'm going to do more wood chips. Once I crump this in, because I don't want them to go in there. But it worked perfectly fine. See, ta-da. Oh, there's this I think is a weed. I gotta pull it. But I want to make sure before I go pulling it. Because I also have like little grass growing. Which I have no idea what it is. And I also had the stuff that was growing as a cover crop, because that's a cover crop right there. Hello. So, that being said, let me stop procrastinating and get going with actually doing the wood chip. As you can see, the chickens have been chilling there underneath the loofahs, and they've been scratching up, which I really don't mind them doing that. I haven't seen them touching any of the vegetables that are actually on the ground or around. I've only seen them scratching, basically. Scratching the corners, because I literally had this full of, obviously, everything. And look, scratch, scratch, scratch. Everything looks great. So now, I'm going to continue the wood chips. Few truckloads of the wood chips. See, they scratched through here. They didn't even touch that tomato. They didn't touch none of the pumpkin. And they just scratched through. They didn't touch none of those tomatoes. So, that makes me happy. Oh, there she is. Scratching away, which to me is fine, because they'll keep down the number of pests. Like, I remember having a lot of crickets at one point, and I don't see not even one. So, that's a good thing. that's a good thing. Look, they scratched up all of that. So, it's okay. I didn't want them over here, but I'm alright with it. Can't be mad at them. See, they didn't come in here. So kind of weird. They've been picking and choosing. Where they want to scratch. Here we put carrots, remember, and green beans? And I see the carrots growing now that the comfrey is dying out. I can't wait till the bed comes in. I mean, the chicken coop. That's going to be exciting. All right, guys. Ah. So, I mulched most of the beds, but the chickens clearly are scratching it, which I'm fine with as long as the mulch is there eventually. We do have plenty of mulch, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to mulch this whole entire side of the fence because I'm tired of the grass. And then the truck is actually full of more mulch. And before we dump it here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them dump it on the other side of the fence where you see grass growing because it's crazy. All this grass. I mean, technically the grass was not there, you know. The Mother Earth decides to cover herself. So it ended up eventually growing. So I'm going to cover it with mulch. Hopefully that'll kill the grass. And then next year when I'm ready to plant flowers, what I can do is move the mulch to the side and do the seeds and let them grow. The 2 actual tires, we're taking them out and we're going to put them in here because we have 4 more tires that we're going to put in here. And then I'm going to try to mulch as much as I can in here. I'm not going to mulch too much of the outskirts because the trees cover it and the leaves sort of makes its own mulch. I also want to mulch the area where I'm going to have the tomato line going and the tomato line going. The rest of the mulch will stay not here. We'll pile it up with the rest of the, like, stones, the gas station and all that stuff. We'll put it on over there. So when we do need it, at least we do have it. Oh, I'm tired. But right now, I'm going to go get the lawnmower and I'm going to cut the grass on the other side so these chickens can stop scratching over here and maybe they'll get interested in scratching over there. So let's see. All right, guys, we're inside the storage area and I'm checking in on the dehydrator. I did put that stuff to dehydrate, but they're not ready yet. So I'm doing another 24 hours. This is my 3rd day, I think. Yeah, today will be the 3rd day of them going on for 24 hours at 100 degrees. And we're already mid-September. So the next cycle of my electricity will tell me whether or not this was cheaper to do than the freeze dryer. I harvested these today. These were from a while back. I still got more of these. And then we still got the same canning because I haven't come to bring the new canning stuff to the barn yet. I've been putting them around the house, but sooner or later, I'll bring them in here. But let me go cut the grass. All right, guys, I'm killing my cover crop. As you can see, I killed all the cover crop on that side, except for this little section over here. Still got a little bit there, but I'm leaving that like that because I had tomatoes over there. But I want to show you, this is the before cover crop. Now, if you've never done cover crop before, let me tell you, this thing works because this is cover crop section where I have my corn with the cover cropping, and this is without. Because this little patch did not get any of the cover cropping because this was a walking path. So I guess the rain didn't push any over here. You can see the difference. Black, white, white, black. So I'll show you the after. Hey guys, that's the after. I chopped everything off, even though I do believe the trimmer did a better job, but it died. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to go through this again to kill this, because right now it's still alive. But you can tell the soil. Check on my black soil. Nice. Okay, and then for those that are wondering, these are those Japanese roots, and technically they're good for the soil because it breaks down the soil. But technically I'm not supposed to pull it. I'm supposed to let it die down there. So, and they usually grow really big. I have one big one. Where are the chickens? I gotta count the chickens, make sure nobody escaped, because I totally forgot to close the gate when I was cutting the grass. So no chickens in here. Chick, chick. Any eggs? Nope. That's another thing now we gotta look for. They get this big. Look, this one did really big. This is the biggest one I got. Check it out. It's already splitting and everything. Yes. That means it's big underground, doing its thing. But I think in like 2 more weeks we'll be harvesting sweet potatoes, which is fun. This, we're letting it die out. Hopefully it'll die out. I gotta still come and trim it. If the chickens kill it, even better. But I think I need to trim it down a little bit more. Oh my God, not him trying to get into the chicken coop. So I gotta kill it some more, and then we're gonna come in here and do the fork tilling. And then that'll be for next year. So let me go here, count my chickens. I already harvested tomatoes. So let me give you one quick view. Oh, I forgot tomatoes. Count my chickens. And do my thing. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. If I do anything tomorrow, it's just mulching. I'm not doing anything crazy. And it'll be trimming this once the battery charges, because I do need this to die before we do our complete squares for next year. So right here, if you can picture it, this is all going to be the pepper / tomato aisle. Or tomato lane. No, not tomato, potato. So it'll be potato / pepper lane in containers. And in the tires. So we gotta come back and kill this. Definitely. But let me do that, and I'll maybe see you guys tomorrow. And I'll close tomorrow the video. Bye guys. Have a good night. Good morning, guys. It is Sunday. And today we're actually going to do a day of rest. It is early in the morning, so I'm watering before service because I got to go online. And I want to turn you around and show you what I got, because then I'm going to close out the video. So here is the celery bed, and I'm letting the celery grow as far as it can go. And actually what I'm gonna end up doing is do a last harvest. So unless I see it like seeding kind of thing, and I'm sure it'd take a minute, but I do have a lot of celery here that I can just harvest. I'm sorry, you weren't even looking at me. That I can harvest. So I'm gonna let it grow for as far as it can go, and it'll be one more celery harvest, and then I won't need celery for a while. This bed had carrots in it. I've been collecting the carrots as I go, Clearly, the chickens came in here and started scratching, which I'm fine with because it's almost the end of the season. I do see a few carrots that I can grab that are almost ready right here. But the chickens got in it and did their thing, which I'm fine. It's all right. They did scratch all the way around the whole entire beds that I put mulch in, so I gotta go back and put the mulch back. Here is tomatoes I gotta pick. I also, as I water, this is why I like to water. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. Lexi and Jesse are in the back cutting down trees and burning them. But I do have tomatoes under here that I missed. So I get to pick them today. And I did have some lemon cucumbers, as you can see right there. But Lexton didn't like them. So I'm just going to leave them for the chickens. But I do have like 2 tomatoes that I can actually pick. So that's a blessing. Trying to be careful because this is where the bees were. The yellow jackets. And then this thing is loaded with loofah. So I don't need to do loofah next year. So all the trellises that I do next year is going to be for cucumbers, clearly. I do have carrots still here. I do have another, what it looks like, another of the plants, the mullein. Hey, get out of the bed! Not her going on top of the bed. I know you saw that. I got another mullein in here. That one is in the middle of the bed, so I might leave that one. This one also has sweet potatoes, carrots, as you can see. And beets still. It has also an acorn squash plant, which I'm fine with. So the lesson learned, I think I say it all the time, is we're never going to actually put sweet potatoes in these beds. That's for sure. Everything looks so good. I do love to water. Lexton tends to water because it sort of gives him a little exercise. But I think next year I'm going to water the beds and maybe I'll give him like the potatoes and that kind of stuff because I don't need to keep an eye on it. Watering shows me when I need to harvest stuff, actually. I didn't even know I had 3 acorns. So what does that tell you? It is so good today. Look, the breeze is blooming. So that is great. These flies are like on me like Donkey Kong. I love the way the flowers look, but yeah, we're not doing that next year. Where did the chickens go? I gotta keep an eye on the chickens. So let me water and then I'll give you a quick tour before I close the video. Alright guys, I'm done watering. Let me give you an update on the orchard. Here it is. Everything seems to be growing fine. We did have pests in the beginning. I think we took care of them. I want to say everything seems to be okay, but you know, fingers crossed. We are trying to find a bush tiller for our skid steer, so at least we can come and till all this stuff up between every tree, so then we can mulch it up. I do want to mulch them. I also got to pay attention to my surroundings, but everything seemed to be okay. I think the only thing that really struggled at first was this vine that's supposed to be a grapevine. The other thing that struggled really bad a couple of months ago was the 2 back trees. They were cherry trees. As you can see, they seem a little bare. But they're picking up. Okay, so I finished watering. And then now what I'm gonna do is I'll give you a tour and then close the video. Actually, the greenhouses, we have not done anything with them except put them together. I think I have grass growing in there. We did put boxes in there to put on the actual floor itself, you see. And then I do have the pineapples in there. And somebody gave us 2 pomegranate trees. This one has all the containers that I'm thinking of using, but I also have to make holes on the containers. So, yep. So far, they've been doing okay. Here's the other pineapple we need to throw in there. Oh, looks really nice. This one is a 2-year-old pineapple. So I think 1 more year should give us a pineapple, but I took it anyways. Lexton wanted it. We have the 2 little baby pineapples inside the greenhouse. So we gotta bring this one inside. There's Lexi's path to the barn. They're burning a pile. Hopefully today. I did have to water where I trimmed yesterday because I do want to keep the microbial underground sort of like still, you know, alive. I try to trim it down and have the chickens come this way, but they don't want to. It's kind of weird. Also, I totally forgot I needed to check to see if I had any eggs. We also mulch the whole entire side of the garden so this stuff can stop growing. But I totally forgot to tell them to stop right here, because right here it slopes down and I'm not sure if the mulch will actually stay there when it rains. I also watered the compost, all 3 bins. Even watering is tiring. It's a lot of watering. What else? The chickens are over here. Let me go back in there and show you the damage they did. Welcome to Yaya's garden. On the left, we have berries. Going all the way around? No, sir. You guys know that already. All right, look at these chickens. Look. Get out of my bed. No. They are beneficial to have in your garden, and at the same time, they're not. So they just ate up all my carrot seeds. They ate up all the carrot seeds here. I still have the one over there. But they also ate all the carrot seeds on this one. Let me show you. This one is still safe, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they will be on it like Donkey Kong eventually. They ate up where the peanut was. So remember, I had the peanuts, then I grew lettuce, and I think carrots or spinach. Yep, all gone. But it's okay, because I do want them to scratch. I had a lot of bugs in here, and the minimum, I gotta say, it has minimized the bug pressure that I had in here. So, you know what? If they want to go ahead and scavenger 1 tomato when I have like 14 bags already, it's all right. I'm all right with that. And beds that they actually uncovered, it's okay, because I'm actually going to grow all that stuff once again in the greenhouse. I mean, in the green stalks. I also put them here, and they just started they started doing it in here too. Now they're under the trellis. As long as they don't mess around with that bed. And I put a cover on it, so we should be alright. I was gonna mulch today, but my body hurts from yesterday that I am not wanting to mulch. All of this has to die out. So this is winter, I forgot what it was. It's snap peas and something wheat. And the cold is supposed to kill it. And I'm hoping it kills it before, because these beds are supposed to be for my I think I planned it out already, and it's supposed to be garlic that's already planted. Garlic. Then I'm gonna do eventually next year, because obviously it's not the year to plant onions. I am doing onion. That one will always be the carrots and other underground bed, because I put more sand into it so it's more soft to pull the carrots. And then the rest is gonna be the scattered other stuff. But I'm not gonna scatter it. I am gonna plant like one square is gonna be, so this will be 4x4 of something, 4x4 of something else. I'm not gonna scatter everything the way I did. And then the tomatoes obviously are not, I don't think I'm gonna do a tomato bed. I am gonna do this into tomatoes. And then the new one down there that I'm gonna start next week. Because this week I have vacay. So I got a whole entire week off this week. And the plan is we have to, besides kill the chickens that are jumping in my beds. No, sir. I'm not going to kill them. The plan is going to be pitchforking the grounds here and creating what I need for next year. And then I am sure all these tomatoes will die out eventually, but I do want to make the bed for it. And we do want to change the T-posts to the red T-posts because they're actually taller. And then I do want to mulch out from where you see that piece of wood up to the bed where the tomato is going to be. The tomato aisle. That's what we're going to call it. Tomato aisle. And then I need to build the other tomato aisle over there. I do have to go back over there to check on, see if I have any eggs. Eventually, all this mulch clearly is going to be gone. We are going to start tossing it into the aisle so it can be more cleaner, I guess. I don't want no grass, hence the boxes on the ground. And we're also going to mulch that side with that mulch. Once that mulch is gone, I think I'm going to put the chicken coop in there. Because I do want to keep the chickens here. But it's only going to be those 5. That's it. I'm not going to bring more in here. I might get rid of one, actually. So it'll probably be just 4. Because one of them still tries to escape. So we'll probably get rid of one. And I'll keep the other ones. And it'll just be the 4. Which is fine. Because I do want them to maintain the bug pressure. I haven't seen, like, I remember walking through here and it would be spiders galore. The other plan would be, so I'm thinking of putting the chicken coop there, which is fine. That'll be perfect. Here's gonna be the other tomato aisle, and we're gonna make the bed and mulch the whole entire week till Wednesday or Thursday. Then here, as we had last year, you can see where it ends right here, and then there was a path to go into the compost, and then this was another path. Say hello to the chick, you see? Perfect. And technically speaking, I just want to leave enough path for the side by side to come through and the skid steer. So we're gonna leave the path sort of wide enough for the skid steer, and then I'm gonna use the pieces of wood, and I'm gonna build myself sort of like a square of the height, well, the width, I should say. So it'll be the width from here. I'm gonna put these pieces of wood here, and I'm gonna make me a big humongous bed going like this. We gotta remove these stones, going like this. And then I'm going to shorten this because this is very wide right now. And I'm going to make it up to like right here. And then put wood going across like that. up to all the way where you see the fencing. Well, not the big fencing, the electrical fencing. Let's say the T-post up to there. And then this will be a humongous square of that's going to be technically for the pumpkins. So that'll be for the watermelons, the pumpkins, any squashes. We're just going to make a line for each one and sort of box it in. Yes, box it in. That's the word I was looking for. And that's going to be for that. Now, that being said, then this side, obviously we're going to make it the same way. We're going to shorten it a little bit more by the sweet potato aisle, and we're shortening it more this way, and all that is going to be full of corn. Here comes Jesse with the side by side. I mean, the skid steer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to end up doing all of this full of corn, like the whole entire thing corn. I'm not going to do no mulching in between the aisle. It's going to be completely corn. So we got to pitchfork all of this, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to box it in with the wood, so that can be our sort of indicator. The indicator that's all the corn, and then we're going to put the wood to be sort of our guide when we're driving either the side by side or guiding me to know the skid steer. And then here is going to be the other aisle of tomato, and then we got to shed. So shedding all of that with this big pile of shred, and we can do that with the skid steer. So that should be easy because it's in and out. We dump it, go, right? So we're going to do that like that. And then I'm going to do the tomato thing. So hopefully I can do that all this week because I'm off. And then we're going to box in here. We're going to box in over here. Let me see. Do I have any eggs? Let me not bother her. Here's the sweet potato. I think it's almost done for the sweet potato, because the flowers are going on. But they're not yellowing yet. So the way sweet potato go is they have to get yellow in order for you to harvest them. I did see an egg, but she's in there, so I'm going to let her be. The compost is doing great, but the chickens came over and scratched it all up. So we're just going to have to just bring it back up. At least it's not the dogs anymore. And then over here as well, as long as I leave enough space to go with either the skid steer or the side by side, then that's what we're going to do. So we're going to box all this up. So maybe from like here, about 2 feet from the banana plant to here where this line goes. And then we're going to box that going that way, sort of lining it up with the bed. So the bed is right here. We're lining it up straight across like this with the wood, and then I'm just gonna pitchfork all of this. Hopefully, next week. I do have the tarp that will tarp this whole thing up if I need it to kill whatever I need to kill. So if I need to, I'll do that over the winter. But I did want to do a winter cover cropping, sort of like that one was a summer cover cropping. I want to do a winter cover cropping, so I can actually cover it all up so it doesn't get too messy. Because don't forget, then this we don't work in it until sometime after March. I'm also gonna I have a plan for winter sowing, so I might as well share that. So all of this clearly is going to be boxed in. So let me show you from this direction. Here's the tomato aisle. I'm boxed in here. So right here, you see where the sunflower is? That was the end of the aisle for that. But I do want to line it up with that stick right there. So I'm going to line it up like that. So it's going to extend it a little bit more. I'm kind of crooked so you can't see it. Maybe the squash that's right there. And then we're going to extend it a little bit more up to like maybe, so you see it stop there. We will be extending it maybe to here. So it'll be like right here. So it's another 3 feet maybe that I'm extending it, and then we're gonna box it in. So we're not using that line right there. This is sort of gonna be the driveway. Let's call it the driveway. Why not? That'll be the driveway. It's gonna start right here. We're gonna box it in starting from here to like literally my leg, then going up that way, and we'll box it in. And then once we box it in, then this is gonna be called the potato pepper aisle, which will be from the beginning of that first bed, which is bed number 489. So bed 9 is gonna start the containers with the peppers just like they are right now, but we need to straighten them out. And then the potatoes. So don't forget, I decided I'm gonna do potatoes in containers because my potatoes, they did okay, but I think they could have done better. I did better with obviously the potatoes in that black container. So I'm just gonna take all my containers that are for potatoes. Those are sweet potatoes over there. And then these that have the peppers in them. Clearly they'll be for peppers. It'll be the same thing for peppers. But I want to use them I want to use the bags for the potatoes. So I'm thinking, I know I didn't say I was, but my guess is I am probably, because I only have these available right now, my Harbor Freight and my Home Depot, not sponsored by the way. They're the only ones I have left from Connecticut. In Connecticut, I started gardening, 7 years ago? We're in 2025. We started back 2019. So, about 5-6 years ago. So these are the last containers that we have. Besides the square ones, these are the last round ones that we have. So that being said, some of them did break when we brought them from Connecticut, but I am going to use containers for the peppers, but I'm going to use the hard containers. So besides these, so we have 6 of these. These keep breaking. That one is already broken. So as soon as the season is over, I'm tossing it. But I want the actual bags themselves for the potatoes. So we're taking these out, and then we're taking these out, which are the tomatoes, and then we're doing the tomatoes actually in the bed, in the ground. So I will have all these bags available and the containers available, the black containers that came with the big trees available for me to put the peppers in. And we have a lot of those. And then I still have, I think the bags is 20 bags because it was a pack of 20. I think they're 5-gallon bags back in 2019, 2020 when we brought those on Amazon. It was a good deal. And they still, listen, they still good. They still lasted. They're still perfect. Those are in the bags. And then those are the hot peppers. So I had enough hot peppers to last me about 3 years maybe. And then still producing actually. So I'm going to pick all the reds that are here. I'll let them dry out manually with the, regular. I put them in a container, I put them in one of those bags and I shake them. And technically speaking, I'll have enough. I even have one whole entire chain that fits around my neck. I think I showed a picture of those. So today when I'm harvesting, that's what I'm going to do. And then I have the week off. You see, like I can come around and pick the good ones. Because if you leave them too long, the bug pressure was really bad on the hot peppers. So I still have a few. So as long as I don't poke into the red, they're not hot as I touch them. I mean, not for nothing. I didn't try putting my eye or my finger in my eye once I picked these. So what I'll do is I'll pick as many as I can from these 4 plants until the end of the season. And then I have 4 more bags. And I don't need hot peppers for at least another 2 years. So that's good. Alright guys, let's see what else we got. I gotta leave the chicken alone. I'm gonna come and harvest later. More tomatoes. I don't even know why I got this fence here. Cause technically speaking, the chickens go over it anyway. Some of these pumpkins were ready yesterday. Some of these are still green from not picking them. This video is gonna be long, people. And then don't forget, I have this week off, so I will be recording not the whole thing, but before and after, sort of. You see, this one is done, so I can pick this one up. But I'm gonna do that later. I'm tired. None of these are ready, but the chickens have been around here. And it started flowering again, which I thought it was kind of odd. So I did catch them picking on some of the tomatoes, but you know what? It's alright. I'm alright with that. Maybe I'll push them over there instead. Where are they? I think they're all by the thing over here. I want to say, I think I only saw 2 tomatoes poked, and then I left it for them. Like, I'm not gonna grab them. I'll leave them alone and let them continue picking on that one tomato. I want to say it was just 1 tomato. I did not see anything else. I mean, they scraped up through all of this, but it's okay. I'll have some healthy chicken. So I'm alright with it. My only regret for my 2025 garden, I can tell you right now, is I did too many loofahs. That I know. That's my regret. My second regret was the sweet potato slips. That was my second regret. Okay. Do I have any other regret? No, I think that was it. It was really the sweet potato slip and the loofah. Like, it overpowered everything. Everything else was a test, so I can't say it was a regret. So those are like my 2 only regrets. Because all the potatoes in the ground, that was a test. All the flowers everywhere, that was a test. Everything scattered everywhere was a test. Throwing just tomato seeds in a spot was a test. So I can't be mad at something that I was testing, basically. But you live and you learn. Oh, sorry. My finger slipped. Oh, look at them. So you live and you learn, you know? Not him cuddling with all his BIs. So you live and you learn, right? I didn't think the zinnias were gonna get that big, but I didn't have zinnias in my garden, basically. I only had them in that front bed, and it was more of a zinnia bed, so that was that. Maybe if I do flowers, I'll just pick one square. I think I told you guys this a couple of video clips ago, that I'll probably do like this square, maybe flowers. And it all depends on how many of my plants actually grow. Because don't forget, I decided we mulched the entire outside of the garden. So next year, I can actually, it'll kill the grass and we can grow zinnias there. I mean, that should be fine. So, yep, those are my 2 regrets. The actual putting not slips in the bed, but I put them in every single bed. Like, that's my regret. Like, every single bed has a sweet potato slip. I don't know if you noticed, but every single bed has a sweet potato slip. Every single one of them. So that's my only regret, that I put a slip on every single, even that one. Even though that one did not gravitate as big as these, but there's one on that bed too. So every single bed, except for the new beds. So Yep. All right, guys. Put my hoodie on because the bugs are bugging. I should say the flies are bugging. Now they're not because I can't feel them landing on me. But thank you for watching. I'll show you a clip of everything I harvest. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.